Hello everyone, I am Paula Galang and I'm going to present my three title proposals. My first proposed title is The Internet Connection Status of Film Students During Online Classes, Effect on Their Class Performance. So, for the justification for choosing this title, our new normal setup in education has made students use online classes as a new mode of learning. So, these classes are influenced by factors like students' devices, internet connection or bandwidth, and the students themselves. So, I, as a researcher, will focus my attention on the students' internet speed and how it affects their performances during their classes. So, the increasing use of technologies such as computers, the internet, the World Wide Web in higher education is shaping the current generation of distance learning. So, I, as the researcher, will focus on studying the relationship of students' internet speed and bandwidth and their performances in learning through online classes. For projected contributions to the growth of knowledge, this study is beneficial because we may know if there is a relationship between students' internet connection and their performance in online classes. This study will help with informing those who read it and to make them more knowledgeable about this certain topic. To be more specific, the following are possible benefits of this research. For the students, this research can greatly benefit the students by helping them learn about the correlation between internet speeds and their performances in online class. This study can also help with telling their teachers that not all of them have the same internet speed, that sometimes their internet is not enough for them to learn adequately during online classes. For school, this research can help inform the school and its educators about the relationship of internet connection speeds and bandwidth on the performances of their students. This can help them see that some unfortunate students don't have the privilege of having fast connection speeds, and it can influence their performances during their online discussions and tests. This can also help future researchers learn more about this topic and how it affects students during online classes that was caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. This can help with adding more information to their research about how difficult it was to teach and learn online during the virus outbreak. For a statement of the problem, this study aims to identify the relationship between the students' internet speed or bandwidth and their performances in class. Specifically, the researcher wants to seek the following questions. So for the first question, what is the speed or bandwidth of the internet does a student use for their online classes? So in order to find what is the speed of your internet, we can go to speedtest.net. So we can see the result there. So the 1.1, what is the Mbps of the students during their online classes? And next, how often do they have internet connection problems during their online classes? So for the second question, what is the students' test results and classroom performance during online class? So we will find what is their preliminary test results, pre-quarter test results, and their activeness during classes. And lastly, we will make a comparison and relationship between their internet bandwidth and performance. And here are the references for this title. My second proposed title is The Adjustments of the Parents of the Expenditures of the Family During the COVID-19 Pandemic. So, for the justification for choosing this title, during this time of pandemic, parents are struggling to provide their family needs and budgeting their expenses to make sure that they have enough money for the next day. The economic havoc and instability wreaked by the COVID-19 pandemic threatens the health and well-being of families across the nation. This research aims to help with informing the people of the struggles and adjustments that parents must do to ensure that their families are safe and cared for. For projected contributions to the growth of knowledge, this research is beneficial because it helps with informing people about the struggles of parents during the COVID-19 pandemic. This research will help people gain more knowledge and learn more about what we can do if this ever happens again in the future. To be more specific, the following are the possible beneficiaries of the research. For society, this study can help people learn more about the adjusting our expenses and budgeting because the pandemic has been hard on all of us, especially those who lost their jobs due to the virus outbreak. This study aims to educate students and teach them how difficult it was for parents during the COVID-19 pandemic. This will teach them to appreciate their parents and their sacrifices more because even though they are facing a difficult time in their lives, they still manage to supply for their family's needs. This research can also help the future researchers who want to conduct the same or similar research in the future. This can help with the growth of knowledge and to give us more information about the struggles and hardships parents had to face during the COVID-19 pandemic. For the statement of the problem, this study aims to identify the adjustments of parents of their expenses during the COVID-19 pandemic. Specifically, the researcher want to seek the following questions. First, the estimated expenses of the parents for their families, monthly expenses for online classes, and expenses for their families' daily needs. Second, what are the adjustments used by the parents to catch up with this new normal? Personal and work. And here are the references for this title. My third proposed title is the Teacher's Side, Different Struggles Caused by the COVID-19 Pandemic. So, for the justification for choosing this title, during this pandemic, there are teachers that are struggling to adjust to online classes as the new way of learning. There are teachers who are old and not experienced in using gadgets, resulting in a difficult time for them during their online classes. And teachers striving to create numerous modules that students need so they can study and learn. As a researcher, I'm conducting this research so that people who read my study will know that even teachers are having a hard time. For the projected contributions to the growth of knowledge, this research is beneficial because it helps with informing people about the struggles of teachers during the pandemic. The following are possible beneficiaries of the research. For society, this study will help people by giving them knowledge about the sacrifices that teachers have to make to teach their students. For school, this study is for students to realize the sacrifices that teachers endure because these sacrifices are mostly ignored and just made fun of. And lastly, for the future researchers, this study can help future researchers because it can give them more information about this topic if they wish to perform a similar kind of research. For the statement of the problem, this study aims to highlight the struggles that teachers go through for the education of their students. Specifically, the researcher wants to seek the following questions. First, what are the struggles that teachers are facing? What is the percentage of teachers suffer from sleep deprivation? Second, how much is the expenses that they typically spend for their online classes? How much do they spend on their load or Wi-Fi for their online classes? How much do they spend on materials to prepare the modules for students? And here are the references for this title. And that would be all. Thank you.